So you started on your candle making journey and you're hearing terms like candle tunneling, hot throw, and so much more. And you don't know what any of it means. Well, that's okay, because today in this video, I'm going to be teaching you all the candle terms you need to know so you can better understand the process and hopefully prevent some mistakes along the way. If you're new here, you can call me Serene, and I am the owner of Serene Aromas. And today in this video, I'm going to be breaking down these terms in different categories. So let's dive right in. The first category is going to be the wax related terms. And of course, that means we have to start with the wax. The wax is a main ingredient that's used in candle making. And if you're not familiar already, you should know that there are several different types of waxes, starting from soy, which I use for my candles. It is a preference of mine because it's made with soybeans and it is 100% natural. There are other waxes like paraffin, beeswax, coconut, palm, and we also have wax blends. Basically, this includes several different types of waxes mixed together to create one. They have soy paraffin, coconut, soy, and so much more that you can use. All of them react differently in the candle making process, so you would have to experiment specifically with the wax that you're looking to use on your candle making journey. Now, using soy wax, of course, there are some advantages and disadvantages. And one of the disadvantages that everybody experiences with soy wax is what's called soy wax frosting. This is a natural white coating that happens in soy wax candles, and it's not dangerous or anything like that. It just means that the wax is trying to get back to its natural form. Then we have what is called a melt point. This is referring to the temperature that the wax melts at, and this varies for each and every single one of those waxes that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. So you would have to research and find the specific melt point for your wax that you're using. After melting the candle wax, we have what is called a pouring temperature. This is going to be the ideal temperature that you're going to pour your candle wax into the containers or molds that you're currently using. And again, this varies for each and every single wax that you're using. And after pouring your candles, we have what is called a cooling time. This is the amount of time that it takes for the candles to cool down completely after you've poured them into their containers or their candle molds. For me specifically, using soy wax, I like giving my candles a few hours just to make sure that they have completely cooled down before moving on to any other part of the process. Next, we're going to talk about the candle wicks because they determine how well your candles burn. A candle wick is essentially the material that you light that creates that flame for your candles to burn. There are different types, from cotton, hemp, or wood. I currently use cotton wicks because those are natural and are perfect for my candles. There are different sizes. This refers not to the length of the wick, but rather the diameter of the wick. Finding the right wick size is essential for you to have a perfect burn for each and every single one of your candles. So this requires a lot of experimenting when you're making your candles. And we also have what's called a wick centering tool, which basically is a tool that you use to make sure that your wicks are centered in the candle jar that you're currently using. For me specifically, I don't use any candle wick centering tool simply because I find that eyeballing each and every single time that I make the candles are perfect for me. But if you require a wick centering tool, there are several different websites where you can find them. And of course, after the candles have set, we have to do what's called wick trimming. This is basically cutting down each and every single wick to the correct length to make sure that the candle burns properly. We don't want the wicks to be too long or too short because this will mess with the process of the candle burning. So for that, we encourage each and every single person to trim their wicks to 1/4 of an inch each and every single time they're going to light their candles. This prevents your candles from having a flame that's too high, which can potentially be a fire hazard, and it also helps the candle burn properly. And as I mentioned before, you have to do what's called a wick test with each and every single wick that you're using throughout your candle making. This is basically experimenting with each and every single wick so that you can find the best size for the candle wax that you're using, along with the candle container and the fragrance. And now let's get into what makes the candles smell amazing. First things first, we have a fragrance oil. Fragrance oils are basically synthetic or blends of oils that create the scent for scented candles. Some people like myself also use essential oils, which are basically natural oils derived from plants. These are a little bit trickier to work with simply because they are very sensitive to high heat temperatures. Some of them will reach what's called a flash point at a very low temperature, which is basically the temperature where the fragrance or oil evaporates at, which means you won't be able to smell any of it. So you have to be extra careful when you're working with essential oils. Of course, when working with fragrance, we have what's called a cold throw, also known as a cold scent throw. This is basically the scent that you smell from the candle when it's not lit. And in relation to that, we also have what's called a hot throw, which is the scent that you smell when the candle is burning. And some people, when they're making their candles, they can smell a very strong cold throw, but a very weak hot throw. If you want to find out why that happens to your candles, make sure to subscribe so that I can explain this to you in my next video. And when also working with fragrance, we also have what's called a fragrance load. But it is basically the percentage of the fragrance oil that should be added to the wax. And again, this varies for each and every single wax that you're using, so you have to find out for your specific wax. And fun facts for you, adding in more fragrance into your candles does not make them smell stronger. If you want to find out why, make sure to subscribe, because my next video I will be explaining all of that to you. Okay, now let's talk about how a candle actually burns. First, we have a burn pool. This is the melted wax around the candle wick that's currently burning. Then we have the burning time, which is how long the candle burns before it is completely done. This varies, of course, for each and every single candle. Sometimes the bigger the candle, the longer the burn. And if you've ever burned the candle and noticed that it was burning straight down the middle, this is referred to as candle tunneling. This is a result of you not burning the candle properly or not having the right size of wick when burning the candle. And in comparison to a candle tunneling, we have what's called an even burn. This is the perfect burn that each and every single candle maker tries to achieve with their wicks. And with testing, we're able to find out what that is. And last on the list is what's called candle sweating. This is when the fragrance oil or essential oil used rises to the top of the candle surface, often because of heat or you use too much oil. We also have different types of candles. One of them is a container candle, which is basically what I make. They can be used using jars, mugs, or tins. You basically just pour the wax into the container and now you have a container candle. Then moving on to what's called a pillar candle. This is a freestanding candle that is made using a wax mold. And similarly, we have taper candles. Those are basically longer candles that you see around tables sometimes that are used in decorations. They're long, thin, and basically are candlesticks. Another kind is a votive candle. This is a small cylindrical candle that is meant to be used in a candle holder. Then we have the tea light candles, which are basically the small little candles that you can see in a tin or a plastic cup. And last on the list, we have the wax melts, which are basically not really candles, but they are doing the same thing, which is making your home smell great. Those are basically fragrance infused wax that you use in a wax warmer, and they don't require a candle flame. And that is it. These are the candle terms that you need to know on your candle making journey. If you want to learn about the candle tools that you need in the candle making process, make sure to turn into the video linked for you at the end of this video. If this video helped, make sure to like and subscribe and comment below any further questions that you may have. Happy candle making, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.